It is October, and we have lots of unanswered questions. Where are the eggs? It's way less than it's supposed to be. What is happening? Do you have any comments? We're trying to get some answers, but no one seems to want to take responsibility of what is going on. Madam? Okay, jokes aside, this video is about the reduced egg production that you might have, and you might be asking questions, what is happening, and am I doing something wrong? What are possible causes to have less eggs or no eggs? So in this video I will provide you with a list of things which are the most common causes in the reduced egg production to the least common ones, and you can try to troubleshoot yourself what might be the most likely scenario in your case. So let's get started. First on the list is molting. It's an annual thing for the chickens to molt their feathers and replace them with a new, completely natural and healthy thing for them to do. However, that takes a great toll on their bodies, and reduced egg production is probably one of the things that hens experience during this phase. As you can see, one of our ladies, her name is Brownie, she's now in the middle of the molting state. You can see her feathers being way more patchy and not as pretty looking as she is normally during the year. The second thing on the list would be age. The peak laying for them is about between 1 and 2 years. After that time, your egg production might reduce drastically. This year we acquired one hen, a bright white one. We got it from our grandparents, and she's already 3 years old. We just really liked how she looks, and we didn't really expected her to produce a lot of eggs, so her laying rate is quite low compared to ours. While our chicken's laying about 5 eggs per week, she's laying maybe 2 or 3, so the production is way lower. The third thing on the list is the amount of daylight your chickens are receiving, especially now. Beginning of fall, middle of fall, October, the amount of sunlight we're getting is starting to get more and more insufficient. Chickens, for optimal production, need about 14 to 16 hours of sunlight. Days are getting shorter, as you know, and this might start to affect their egg production rate. It's a common method used by some people to put light bulbs in the chicken coops and turn them on during the evening hours, so we could extend the period of the light that your chickens are exposed to. And number 4 thing on the list would be your nutrition. So when it comes to nutrition, you always want to make sure that your chickens have enough food. As you know, the egg production is quite stressful on the hen's body, so having enough nutrients and energy is very crucial. If you're using your own feed and you're not sure that it's optimal, I would recommend to go through it one more time and see that the ratios are correct. The correct ratios for the feed would be 16 to 18% of protein, about 70% of carbohydrates, also 2 to 4% of fats, and about 3 to 5% of fibers. The feed that I'm using would be about 50 kilograms of corn, then about 20 kilograms of wheat, which provides a decent amount of protein as well as fiber, about 15 kilograms of peas, which are a great source of protein, 20-25% of it, and then 10 kilograms of sunflower seeds, which gives nice healthy fats, quite a lot of minerals. Also, for the mixture you want to include a bit of oyster or eggshells back into their diet. If you're using eggshells, you want to make sure that they are crushed and in a small form. Otherwise, there's a chance that chickens will try to pack their own eggs, and we don't want that. Also, in your local animal store, you can check if they're selling mineral and vitamin extracts. We're using one in a liquid form, which we add to their water source, and that's a great way to make sure that we're getting all their necessary vitamins. The next thing on the list is stress of the hen. Sometimes when environment changes, for example, you move your flock to the new area, there is a new member in the flock, or some kind of change in hierarchy. These are all the things that can affect the hen's reproduction cycle. So don't be surprised that maybe for a period of time when she's experiencing that, the egg production not gonna be as it was. Another thing would be the broodiness. When hens start to sit on the eggs and become broody, to hatch their younglings, they do tend to stop laying any more eggs. Their body temperature changes, they enter a low energy power saving mode in a way, and egg production can stop during that phase as well. Number 7 on the list would be extreme weather conditions. The best thing what you can do is probably to make sure that we have enough of calories during the coldest times, as well as enough of cold water during the times when it's hardest for them to cool themselves off. So another thing on the list is dehydration. You always want to make sure that your chickens have some fresh water, as it's crucial for their healthy metabolism, their healthy digestion. Same like food. This is one of the most basic things that you want to provide for your chickens. Another thing on the list would be parasites and diseases. Here on our farm, we do deworm our chickens once a year. For that, we use either ivermectin or fenbendazole. But if you think that your chickens have some health issues and parasites, best to counsel with your local vet and ask for their opinion of best solutions. When it comes to prevention methods, I would start with chicken coop, making sure that you clean it regularly. Also, the design of the chicken coop is quite important. You want to have a nice ventilated area that the moisture can escape from a chicken coop, as respiratory diseases are quite common in chickens, and that mostly happens in environments which have poor ventilation. Next thing would be overcrowding. If your chickens have not enough space, too small of a chicken run, they can get stressed from lack of space, and as I mentioned before, stress can lead to lower egg production as well. When we designed our chicken run, we gave about 1 square meter per chicken. However, most of the times they are free ranging, so that's not really an issue at our place. Number 11 on the list would be overmating. This would be a problem when your rooster to hen ratio is out of balance. You never want to let less than 6 hens with 1 rooster, otherwise they do tend to overmate with them and peck too much feathers out of their backs and scratch them quite a bit, and that also can put stress on the hen's body. So I would say, if you're keeping roosters, to always make sure that there's 1 rooster to every 8 hens. Next one would be lack of nesting boxes. Hens are quite funny with nesting boxes. Sometimes hens pick 1 nesting box, which is their favorite, and they never go anywhere else. Sometimes it happens that majority of hens pick the same box, and then you have a never-ending competition between them. So make sure that we have plenty of options of nesting boxes. As a rule of thumb, I would say have at least 1 box per 3 to 4 hens, and that should be enough. Another thing would be genetics. Some breeds are just not as good layers as the others. Some chicken varieties are better at different areas. For example, some have a better character, some are bred for meat, all of them have different features. So sometimes it's just genetics that may affect the production of the eggs. Another thing would be predators. Sometimes you don't have to have predators getting into your chicken coop and attacking your chickens. Sometimes the fact that they might be around and pass by is also what might stress them out. That could also be a negative effect for your hens, being fearful or noticing predators around. Another thing would be toxic substances. There might be some moldy feed that your chicken eats, and that can also create digestion problems, and it could be one of the reasons why the egg production might slow down. So you can try to make sure that all your storages are nice and clean and no moisture trapped in your food storage. So keep that in mind, as it can be one of the causes. Another thing on the list would be egg-bound and vent injuries. Sometimes chickens are unable to lay an egg, as the egg might get stuck in their ovaries. That's best to check with your local vet and see if possible solutions. Personally, we haven't experienced it over here, but definitely that's something that you would need to consult with professionals. The last thing on the list would be flock dynamics. As you know, every flock has their own hierarchy, and the highest hierarchy chickens do dictate who is eating first and who is not. So if your hen is at the bottom of the hierarchy, there is a high chance that she's not getting enough of nutrients, or she's being bullied by the other chickens, and that of course gives plenty of stress for her to deal with, and she might not be laying enough of eggs. So I really hope that you like this list, and I hope you find a solution to your possible problem, why your chickens are not laying as we did. Please leave me comments in the description with your questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps us, and hope to see you in the next one. Take care.